For years, Middle East observers have warned about the expansionist policies of Turkey's President Recep Erdogan. Those ambitions reach throughout the region, all the way to Jerusalem.
Turkey is the emerging major threat to the Middle East.
Analysts like Seth Frantzman say we are witnessing a belligerent Turkey on the move.
It's invaded and ethnically cleansed Afrin of Kurds and Yazidis and Christians. It attacked last year in eastern Syria and attacked and ethnically cleansed Christians. It's attacked Armenia now. It didn't do it directly, but it basically goaded the Azerbaijanis into war. And it's also been involved in Libya. It sent Syrian mercenaries. Also, Turkey's been threatening Greece every few weeks for the last 6 months. Also, Cyprus, Israel, Egypt, the UAE. I mean, it never stops.
One advance came after a deal with Libya for its water rights in the Mediterranean Sea.
And the whole point of the deal was to basically use a very poor and weak Libyan divided government and get a deal for all this water rights, which basically mean that Turkey is now sitting astride what claims by Greece and the pipeline that Israel wants to build.
Erdogan telegraphed his intent to the world by converting the Hagia Sophia, once the largest church in Christendom, into a mosque.
Ever since the modern nation state in 1923, that church has, been a museum basically and free for everyone to gather in. Him just making the decision to turn it back into a mosque basically is a indirect kind of communication to everybody. I want to restore our Ottoman past.
After that conversion, Erdogan set his sights on liberating the Al-Aqsa Mosque here in Jerusalem. Then last month he said, in this city that we had to leave in tears during the First World War, it is still possible to come across traces of the Ottoman resistance. So Jerusalem is our city. Frantzman says the regional powerhouses of Turkey and Iran share the same goals.
I think it's just that we have to admit the rhetoric from Ankara today is a rhetoric that looks exactly like the Iranian regime rhetoric. And that's, by the way, exactly what the UAE and other friends, I think, of the US and Israel say, which is that Iran and Turkey are on the same side. It's not the Persian Ottoman Empire, Sunni and Shia. They're both religious extremism. And then there's other countries in the region that are not that.
Erdogan's aggression presents another problem. Turkey is a NATO member, but isn't seen as a team player. Recently, it purchased Russia's S-400 anti-aircraft missile system and aligns itself with the Muslim Brotherhood and Hamas.
It's connected deeply into the European NATO security infrastructure. And I think that presents a huge challenge. And I don't know how countries are going to extricate themselves.
It's a regime seen as hostile to Christians. 2 years ago, Turkish officials convicted and then released American pastor Andrew Brunson on charges of aiding terrorism. Now, Middle East analyst Mike Karam tells CBN News Turkey is closing its doors.
Basically, his goal to cleanse Turkey of all, non-Turkish Christians. Any Protestant foreign Christians that are living, working in the land or involved with the Turkish church at all, they've been declared persona non grata and a threat to national order or threat to national security.
Given its dreams of a neo-Ottoman empire and Turkish nationalism, some believe Turkey might be as much of a threat to the West as Iran.
Alpha Omega.